Be ready. 10 seconds to go. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman Sir, redressal grievances was indeed a great lacuna in the Industrial Tribunal Act. It is that an individual workman cannot go directly to the tribunal for redressal for his grievance, particularly in case of his termination of service. He had to go through the process of conciliation and reference and all the uncertainty of such conciliation and reference bogged down a workman who is already out of employment. Now there is a provision that he can directly go to the labor court or the industrial court. There is a 3 months period. It was suggested that it need not be 3 months. What is going to happen in conciliation, what is the attitude of employer, etc., becomes clear in the first meeting itself. So, the standing committee, on the basis of a consensus, suggested that bring down that period from 3 months to 45 days. Let the workman get early justice. Giving him an opportunity to go directly to the tribunal is very welcome, very necessary, and is 60 years late. But after doing that, why is this miserly attitude of prolonging his agony there? It is causing no serious harm to the government or to the employer. But a reasonable suggestion is again rejected and ignored by the government. Now we have a grievance redressal machinery. This act before the present amendment was amended in 1982. In that, this grievance redressal machinery was provided for. For the last 20 years, this provision continued to be a dead letter because it was never sought to be implemented. Now it appears, and we hope that that provision is sought to be implemented, and while doing that, the machinery will be active to solve individual grievances of the employees in establishments where the number of employees is more than 20. Two salutary suggestions were there. One, there are establishments where individual workmen have grievances and which can be redressed by a machinery instead of going to any court. Even though their number is an establishment is small, even though it is 10, it is easier to solve the problem. So instead of 20, bring the number down to 10, a minimum of 10. Then all of us know that in big industries there are works committee. Those industries are not excluded. So in such a place there will be a works committee and there will be a grievance redressal committee. I think it is a duplication which is not necessary. One more authority is not necessary. A very simple suggestion that where there is a works committee, let it work as a grievance redressal committee also, and for a grievance redressal in a smaller establishment, let there be a grievance redressal machinery. But the bill was to be introduced as it is and was going to be passed as it is without application of mind without keeping the interests of the people in mind mechanically and insensitively. Then there is a provision for enforcement of awards and orders of the tribunal, which I think is a great lacuna. This lacuna continued for the last 60 years. Now they are saying that tribunals will be empowered to execute their own awards and the execution will be as if the award is a decree. Sir, execution of an award or any decree requires a machinery which is effective, a machinery which has a power, a sanction. The labor courts do not have enough personnel to man the courts. So, we are diluting their qualification by this very legislation. Now they will enforce an award without a machinery. So, this provision without providing for such a machinery with sanction, authority, and power is meaningless. Calling it a decree of a civil court and giving it the status of a decree to be executed is meaningless if there is no machinery. Today, labor courts do not have such a machinery. If the 1992 amendment without implementation can continue on the statute book for 20 years, the present amendment without the provision of a machinery will be there and will continue on the statute book indefinitely without giving any relief to the workman who needs the implementation of the award. Sometimes such awards are sent to the civil court under some laws. Here that is not the provision. They are not to be sent to the civil court. They are to be executed as civil decrees. But who will do it? Who will go there? Who will recover? Who will auction if necessary? Who will take coercive measures? Things do not happen by orders on papers. Therefore, such a half-hearted provision may be with something good at heart is useless for the purpose of workmen. Sir, various amendments which are brought here are in the interest of the employees. Several lacunae which were there for the last more than 60 years are sought to be corrected. If these lacunae are addressed, then it will definitely go a long way in serving the employees and their condition will be improved to a large extent. Stop.